Today, we're going to look at the development of a major new export facility in Brazil by China, the evolving dynamics of China Brazil relations, the challenges it poses to American agriculture, additional infrastructure initiatives by China in South America, the potential downsides for Brazil's economy, and the latest geopolitical tensions involving U.S. tariffs. How is this reshaping international supply chains in 2025? Well, let's talk about it. 大家好，我是 Siran 在中国. Hey everyone, it's Siran in China. How y'all doing today? I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm always having a great day over here in China, and today is no different. Thanks to all of my fantastic viewers and supporters who are showing their love to the channel and helping it to grow. And if you want to be one of those supporters, it's really easy to do. You could become a channel member and get early access to all my videos for the price of a cup of coffee per month, or you could just buy me a cup of coffee with one of the links down here or down in the description below. But the easiest and simplest way is to simply remember to hit that subscribe button below and throw my video a thumbs up if you like what I'm saying. It really does help the YouTube algorithm to find my videos and share them with more people. But now let's talk about China and Brazil. For those that don't know, a significant new export terminal is being constructed by China's state-owned agriculture powerhouse, Kofco, at the port of Santos, near Sao Paulo, Brazil. This $285 million project stands as one of the largest such facilities outside of China and is poised to enhance Beijing's access to South American commodities. As of mid-2025, the terminal has begun partial operations, with its first phase launching around March, enabling Kofco to handle an estimated 8 million tons of grains this year alone, primarily soybeans and corn destined for China. By 2026, it is expected to reach full capacity of 14 million tons annually, potentially scaling up to 14.5 million tons, including sugar and soy meal, making a substantial leap from Kofco's previous 4.5 million tons. This expansion not only boosts efficiency, but also aligns with Kofco's sustainability goals, such as deforestation-free supply chains by year's end. However, it does raise alarms for U.S. farmers, who could face billions in lost revenue as China diversifies away from American suppliers. To understand this shift, consider the historical context of China-Brazil trade. Over the past decade, Beijing has poured hundreds of billions into U.S. agriculture products, establishing China as a vital market for American producers. Yet, the 2018 U.S.-China trade war, initiated by tariffs from Washington and Donald Trump, and then countered by Beijing, disrupted this flow. While trade did rebound post-2018, U.S. exports even surged some years. The tensions prompted China to seek alternatives. Brazil, abundant in beef, minerals, and agricultural crops, has stepped in as China's premier food supplier, eclipsing the U.S. in 2023. Brazilian agricultural exports to China peaked at about $60 billion. This momentum continued into 2025. From January to May, Brazil shipped 21.25 million tons of soybeans to China, March alone seeing a record 15.7 million tons, over 70% of its total soy exports. Overall, China's share of Brazilian agriculture exports has grown from 7% in 2005 to 30% in 2024, underscoring a deeper partnership driven by China's need for food security amid ongoing U.S. trade tensions. The Port of Santos plays a pivotal role in this trade. In 2024, it processed a record 180 million tons of cargo, over half of that agricultural, including corn, sugar, and soybeans. Brazil's top export, valued at more than $50 billion yearly. Roughly 30% of Brazil's soy trade transits through Santos, mostly en route to China. But capacity strains are evident. Over 90% of its bulk agricultural export infrastructure is utilized, per logistics experts. Kofco's terminal addresses this bottleneck, promising billions in added revenue for Brazil while streamlining shipments to Asia. For U.S. farmers, however, this spells trouble. The initial 2018 trade war inflicted over 27 billion in agricultural export losses, as per USDA data. With renewed pressure in 2025 under the current administration, the impact persists. U.S. agricultural exports to China plummeted 39% from June 2024 to June 2025, with a 53% drop in the first half of 2025 alone, including a 51% decline in soybeans and over 70% in pork. Fiscal year 2025 projections show a record U.S. agricultural trade deficit of $49.5 billion, exacerbated by China's reduced demand. As Trump pushes for quadrupled U.S. soybean purchases to narrow the trade deficit, often cited as hundreds of billions annually, the Santos expansion empowers China to pivot further towards Brazil, thereby amplifying American losses. This terminal is part of Beijing's broader strategy to further utilize South America's resources. Chinese firms are extending hundreds of miles of rail through Brazil's agricultural heartland. A flagship proposal is a nearly 3,000-mile transcontinental railway linking Brazil to the 3.5 billion Chancay megaport in Peru, inaugurated in 2024. In July 2025, China and Brazil signed a memorandum for a feasibility study, with Peru involved in discussions but not yet committing funds. This rail could slash export times to Asia by up to 12 days, per estimates, though it remains in early stages. Such projects, backed by potential 50 billion US dollars in Chinese investment, could seriously enhance efficiency and ties between Brazil and Beijing. Yet this boom carries risks for Brazil as well, including accelerated deindustrialization, one of the fastest globally. Brazil's exports to China are dominated by raw materials, 98% commodities, while imports are manufactured goods, eroding local industries. Manufacturing's GDP share has shrunk, with job losses mounting. China accounted for 42% of rising import penetration into Brazilian manufacturing from 2010 to 2023. In Q1 of 2025, manufacturing rose to 23% of Brazil's exports to China, up 6 points, but overall, deindustrialization persists amid low-tech export concentration. The Santos terminal may intensify this by prioritizing commodity outflows. Brazil initially seemed a beneficiary of US China disputes, boosting exports to both. However, in July 2025, Donald Trump imposed a 50% tariff on many Brazilian goods via an additional 40% levy, now the world's highest, partly to protest the trial of former President Jair Bolsonaro, a Trump ally accused of plotting a 2022 coup. Trump deems it a witch hunt and is using tariffs to pressure Brazil to halt the proceedings. But Brazilian leaders refuse. With the trial nearing a verdict as of August 2025, these measures could disrupt Brazilian exports, like coffee and meat, driving Brazil deeper into China's orbit, already its top partner. So, in summary, Kofco's terminal exemplifies China's push for secure supply lines at the cost of U.S. competitiveness and Brazil's industrial balance. As tariffs and projects evolve, this alliance may strengthen, altering global trade patterns forever. Thank you, as always, for joining me today in my video. And as always, if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please do let me know down below. I'd be happy to address them or to make a video on a topic that you're interested in. But until then, we will see you in the next video. Zai Jen.